So what are we covering in this minute here is how do you build your business applications using Microsoft Power Apps, Power Automate, which is basically Microsoft Flow, and using certain Office 365 as a data sources. Now, these are the transformation look like with the business today. The business is challenging, yes, a lot of paperwork involved, a lot of complex processes involved. I mean, there is no integrations from your Android application to your business data, so you need to build your applications based on enterprise architecture. I mean, a lot of integrations when it comes to data sources like Oracle, SQL, SAP, Workday. Those integrations needed to be built, and of course, it's budget constraint. So there's no one solution that you can go and create all of them. So that's why Microsoft proposes a Power Apps and Automate. I don't know how many you have tried already, but these are the creators look like today and the organizations and the countries around the world who are utilizing Power Apps every day and Power Automate. And this is why this is getting more visibility and transparency in terms of application development on Microsoft 365. So where is that business gap, app gap? So we're living in a cloud first, mobile first world, right? And we are more mobile ever than before. So this is where we need to build some applications that going to be the mobile first driven, the cloud first driven, and this is where all three parameters going to help us: the talent and access and agility. Now, keeping this as mind, Microsoft created all piece of work to deliver this intelligent business cloud. It could be your Office 365, it could be your Power BI, Cortana, Intelligence. Everything can be extended using an application platform called Power Apps, Power BI, Flow, and Common Data model. So what we're covering today in the session is how do you make those Power Apps, Automate, and some of the Power BI integration. So if you know, there's a data connectors, data services, your Azure platform. Likewise, you have your Azure SQL, AWS, right? A lot of common data service model that falls under here. So you can design any Power Apps using Office 365 like SharePoint, using common data service for app model. Like these many you can cover from your Dynamic 365 perspective. Likewise, it's gonna be, a end list. There is no list defined. There's ever growing list right now. So what we are going to cover in this minute is more of how do we create, the Power Automate, or like Power Apps, and how do you define, and how would you go about any business applications like Power Apps to build. So there you go. What is a Power Apps? It's a standalone application targeted at mobile platform, as I spoke earlier. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the phones and tablets, and not made exclusively for SharePoint, because a lot of people got confused. Is it Power Apps is kind of a replacement on InfoPath? And before I could first go further here, I would like to know what experience, Vishwanand, you have. I mean, can you just speak a bit about yourself so that I can always cover my next, slides?
Yeah, myself, Krishna Reddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I'm looking for basic learnings of Power Apps with SharePoint designers. I don't have any experience from this Power Apps and SharePoint or Power BI. I don't have also knowledge on any
Oh,
knowledge on this.
how many years of IT experience you have?
Sir, I don't have any IT experience. So one of my friends suggested you have to move, you have to learn any SharePoint designer or Power Apps basics. So I can help to you. He is telling like that. Sir.
Understand, makes sense. So that's what we are covering here. We are kind of covering what is Power Apps. How do you, work with this? So if you go further, you see there's a Power Apps web portal, right? Likewise, you can go further. Where do you build this? You build it in your studio, the Power Apps. and then it comes how the studio look like. This is the studio look like, your like paint, or the WordPad, the presentation sort of that. And here, what is next? The mobile client. This is a mobile look like. You can go to app store and download the power apps, and these power apps will be over here, as you see. So this is a power apps beauty, that it get download to your mobile application. And if you go further, you might see that I talk about common data platform, the different services. So Microsoft Power Apps is a service for creating and using custom business apps across the platform. So you can connect to your existing system, like your friend suggested. That SharePoint, you want to know how Power Apps works within the SharePoint. Is that correct? Based on your friend's suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Now, I would cover and give it a complete demo, complete, training on that particular site. That's okay. But what you should also know, Power Apps and SharePoint are two different things. It's like I am your younger brother or elder brother, but you also have some cousin brother, right? So you cannot simply say that Power Apps and SharePoint is the end of the story. That Power Apps and SharePoint is one story. Then Power Apps and Facebook is a second story. Power Apps and Twitter is a third story. Power Apps and Google is a fourth story. So Power Apps is basically your Android sort of experience, where you are designing a Power Apps like mobile application. Do you have any question here? Like, you understand, right? A Power Apps is just a mobile app that you can build, and you can build on a database, and database could be your SharePoint. So SharePoint is one source of database. That is what your friend might have suggested, that create some of the Power Apps within your training using SharePoint as a data source. Then he might help you to get into a job or something. Now, what I'm saying here, Power Apps is not just SharePoint data source. Power Apps can be created using Excel also, because Excel also a database. X SQL also a database, Oracle also a database. Likewise, there's an n number of list in the market, close to 300 plus data sources today Power App support. So, so you want to specifically learn Power Apps in context of the SharePoint. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, cool.
yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So here also you see connect to existing system and data sources. So you see in this middle screen, you have the Power Apps screen coming, and there you would connect your database, build app, form, workflows without writing code. When tomorrow you go in market, they will ask you, what is Power Apps? So you can say Microsoft Power Apps is a service for creating and using custom business app across the platform. Then they say, what we do in the Power Apps. So what you do, you build application, forms, workflows, right? That's what you do. You're creating an app, you're creating a forms, you're creating some workflows that your friend suggested, designer workflow. So those workflow you are writing, you know today you submit some expense, then you are expecting that to start a automation like approvals. So let's say I am your approver, I am your manager. So when Vishwananda submit a report of expense, right, it comes to me as approval. So this is a flow, right? Are you getting it, my point, what I'm saying, or do you want me to speak a bit more easy way?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm getting
Okay,
it.
cool. So now you submitted a report, and that report comes to me as a manager approval. Now, what you call that? You are going to call it workflow. Okay, form completed in this place, right? And now Power Apps build a form for you. Power Apps build the application for you. Then you're looking for developing a workflows. This is where your Power Automate and Power Apps works together, as I mentioned earlier. So then you publish your applications so that it can be accessed through phone. So Vishwananda might have a phone with him. Which phone do you use, iPhone or Android?
Android.
Android. So you go to Android, Google Play Store, download the Power Apps, submit your report. Then it comes to me as approval. I will approve it. And that's what we are doing in there. So the number one is connect to SharePoint. This is your friend suggested. So learn how to connect to your SharePoint, learn how to build your applications, forms, and workflows, and then learn how to publish these applications on phone and laptops. I think
Yes.
this is what he might have suggested you, that how would you really create those power apps, forms, workflows. And this is the job in the market. People are asking, hey, how many data sources you have experience within power apps? What kind of application did you build? What kind of forms did you create? What kind of workflows you have written? So these many, I mean, this is the core of your training. So at the end of your training here, after 15 or 16 days, like after 3 weeks from now, you will be expert, or not an expert, I would say you will be a kind of intermediate skill set person, where you would know how to create application, you would know at the end how do you write a workflows, and then you can talk to in any interviews, these many workflows I have written, these many power apps I have written. I think this is how it is going to work. And do you see here on the top it says modern list? So when your friend said SharePoint, he said SharePoint list. So this is the SharePoint that you see right now, and it's saying what? Add external content, add SharePoint content and logic to list with Microsoft Flow. You understand my point? You have a SharePoint list and you have a phone device where you're interacting with the system. Then you need to write some workflows, and that workflows you will write using Microsoft Power Automate. So these two words called Microsoft Flow and Power Automate are the same one. So Microsoft just changed the name. Interviewer might have asked, hey, do you have experience in Microsoft Flow? You might say yes. Then a interviewer asks you a next question, hey, do you have a experience on Power Automate? Then you say no. But eventually the two things are same. So Microsoft called Microsoft Flow, and they recently rename it to Power Automate. Is that clear?
Yes.
So right, Power Automate and Microsoft Flow is the same thing.
Okay. Microsoft Flow and Power Automate both are same, sir.
Power Automate is a new name for a Microsoft Flow. So don't just get confused with the interviewer questions. See, interview questions, I will ask you, what is Microsoft Flow and Power Automate? Because I know that you just got a training and you don't even have experience. So I will confuse you in the interview questions. So don't get confused. Microsoft Flow is the old name and Power Automate is a new name.